friends. Hello, hello. Nice to see you today. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I have had a really good, productive week here in my crafty space. I've been working on some projects coming out next week. One of the biggest things that's happening right now is partner celebration at Scrapbook and Cards Today. If you don't follow Scrapbook and Cards Today on social, just search for SCT Magazine, you'll find it there. Follow us because all month long, starting today, we have giveaways, new product info, videos, live streams from our partners, and that's one of my biggest jobs of the year. So we released our schedule. You can see all the live streams scheduled for this month. It's going to be an amazing party, and every day we have a post you have a chance to win. So today we're giving away $100 from Scrapbook and Cards Today, and I know a lot of you like to be involved in our events, so that's a great way to get a big discount on an event. So be sure to go over to Scrapbook and Cards Today and follow us all month long. Hello Tracy, hello Mari and Karen, and my friend Mindy is here. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Jenny G, thank you so much for being here with me today. And 4 people have already hit the thumbs up, so thank you for that too. Hopefully I'm coming in to you okay. I have shiny lips. I shouldn't have done that. It's really weird, off-putting in the camera. A few household things that I want to get out of the way first. 2 things. Okay, here's the first one that I am so excited about. This is what I'm really pumped about. If you are a club subscriber for Spellbinders, you can get the 13 days of Craftoween. It's really hard to say that. Craftoween kit. It's an advent calendar, 13 days, and you can pre-order that now. If you're not a club member, you have to wait till the 10th. Okay, so on the 10th, I'll announce on my social, on my YouTube post that the Advent is up for sale for everyone, and you can get it from Spellbinders. What I love about Spellbinders is that when you shop through them, you get points, and the more points you accumulate, you can get money off of your order. So I think that's awesome. That's even for me. So when I place my orders at Spellbinders, I get those points too. I am most excited about this advent calendar because, as you know, Spellbinders makes these amazing, intricate, quality dies, and Halloween is my favorite season of all. So I'm really excited about it, if you can't tell. So if you are a club subscriber, you can pre-order that now. There's a link in the video description below so that you can do that. Hey Marisha, nice to see you. The other thing that I'm excited about that I told you guys about last week is the Pink and Main Joyful Holiday event. That's October 25th and 26th. It's going to be a great event. So many of my favorite card makers are there. People who are on our SCT team because I think they're amazing. And Pink and Main is just a great company owned by, it's a woman-owned company, and Libby Hickson is Michelle's right hand. I've worked with her for many years, just love them. So I'm very excited about this, and I have seen sneaks of the kit, and it's so cute, you guys. You will love it. So link for that is in the video description as well. Yes, Jen says I pre-ordered one from a retailer and already have it. Everything is so cute. So she's talking about the 13 days of Craftoween. So take it from Jen. It's cute. You'll want it. And if you want to buy it from Spellbinders, you'll be able to do so on the 10th. So I will post that on the 10th. Okay, Tracy said I wanted to do this one so bad. It's a really great price. There's an early bird special for it. It's $125, and the amount of product that you get is worth $150. So that tells you what an amazing value this is. This is their first virtual event. So I think they just want to get people in to show you what they can do. It's just a great small company. One of the smallest companies that I work with, and so I highly recommend checking that out. Okay, Mindy just got hers yesterday. Woohoo! Okay, So those two things. The next thing I want to tell you about, this is funny. Mari already has hers too. Awesome. I am going to be creating a card today, but I've been organizing a lot this summer, trying to figure out where to put things. I got a new cabinet behind me. So like my entire wall behind me is all lower cabinets. And I got a new cabinet, still haven't gotten everything adjusted yet with that new cabinet, but I'm trying to like kind of adjust things up at the top first. And one of the things that I had laying around everywhere were my re-inker bottles. And so I wanted to show you what I'm doing with my re-inkers. Let me just make sure I say the name right. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go to my down camera. Oh, it would be helpful if my down camera was on. Let's turn that on. Oh my goodness. And then I'm gonna show you what I'm using here. That'll go off in just a second, you guys. Sorry about that. There's no memory card in there. No, because we're live. Okay. So this is a Stash-n-Stow Organizer from scrapbook.com. They have really amazing organizational products. I have a lot of their trays. I have a lot of their like stadium organizer things, and I use a lot of their stuff. So this is the Stash-n-Stow XL. This is one of 2 layers, so I don't want to turn it too far, but this is the first, this is the top layer. The bottom layer doesn't have the compartments, so only the top one does. And this is my solution now for my re-inkers. So I have all of my re-inkers here, and my daughter helped me do this. And I put an enamel dot with the coordinating color enamel dot on the top so I could easily find the color if I needed it. There's a couple of enamel dots missing. But I am loving this. So I'm gonna do this for all of the other re-inkers that I have. And then for the bottom tier, I'm planning on also storing my re-inkers, but I'll get other compartment storage things probably from Amazon that will fit in there. At the moment, scrapbook.com does not sell these individually, these compartments here, but I'm gonna just send an email to Cody and say, hey, might be a good idea to do that. So if you are in the same place as me and you're like, I'm dying, because all these little bottles were sitting on my shelf and they're like falling over. Every time I went to get one, they would all fall over and then be out of order, and it was driving me nuts. And so this is really nice. And then this is the right size for me to put in my calyx cabinet, because I have the doors on some of my calyx. So I can just put this in the cabinet, have it, you know, ready to go when I need to re-ink something. So I'm really excited about that. I have my Stellar inks here too to put in there as well. And for the Stellar inks, what I'll do is put a little white sticker dot on top and just put the ink color on there. So instead of using an enamel dot, I'll put a sticker dot and then ink that up so I can see the color. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, so whew, that's it. That's it. Those are the news. That's the news of the day around here. Just really want to get my space organized by the end of the year. Hopefully I can make a video for you guys, because I'd really love to share my setup, everything that's behind me. It really works for me. If you've been in my lives a lot, you notice that like I usually don't have to move far to grab something. Yes, organization makes us all so happy. Yes. Oh, Tracy says she has hers in a tiered nail polish holder, but I like that better because it keeps the dust out. It does. It keeps the dust out, and it doesn't take up space on my surfaces, you know, and I really like having things look pretty on the outside. So, okay, let's talk about what we're making today. So I'm catching up a little bit with Concord 9th because when their release came out, I was just about to leave on vacation and the products were a little bit late getting to me. So I decided to, let's go back to July and use the Cherry Nice products from Concord 9th. This is the cutest set, you guys. And it reminds me of the citrus set. Do you guys remember the Zest? What was that one called? Oh, it was like one of my favorites from last year. I actually created with it for like the top products of the year in 2024. Anyway, the Zest, like citrus stuff, that's what this reminds me of. So I am going to do the turnabout today because you guys know I love a turnabout. And then we're gonna cut a couple of these cherries out, ink them up, add them to the top, figure out a sentiment, the whole works. It's gonna be so much fun. Okay, I love seeing the crafty tumbler. Of course, Vicky, you are the sweetest to give it to me, and it's always going to be up on my shelf because it makes me immensely happy. Thank you so much. And I have my friends on there. I just love that. I pinch myself all the time that I'm on that tumbler with all those people. Okay, hello Nikki Forker, nice to see you. All right, let's get started. I didn't even cut my paper. You guys. So that's okay though. We're gonna go with it. It's Friday. It's gonna be a good day. Our house is undergoing some big changes coming up. We have a basement renovation happening in the next couple weeks, so we're getting ready for that. It's kind of crazy around here. So if you were in Holiday Magic, yes, Holiday Magic with me last week, I was really lucky because our electricity in the house started going out right after my class, like an hour after my class. We kept losing power in our house, and it was because like our breaker panel, like our main breaker, just went out. It's an old house. It's like 30 something years old, and so thank goodness it didn't happen during my class. But we knew that we were going to have to fix it right away because, you know, it was like we plug in an iron and we lose power. It was that bad. And so it's been a lot this week, just, you know, getting that changed out. We put in an EV, since we're doing this, we put in an EV power station in the garage because, you know, at some point we'll probably have an EV car. Oh my gosh. And then after that, we are starting on putting in new columns and pillars down in the basement for our first floor renovation so that we can prepare for that because we're doing the basement first. So it's going to be crazy, you guys. Okay. So let's get into this stamp set. So I was really lucky to be able to teach so much on that day without any power outages. Okay, if you guys have never used a Turnabout before, this is kind of like a magical product. I love it. It's one of my favorite products ever because I love stamping, and I just think that we forget about stamping a lot. So what you get with the Turnabout is you get your Turnabout stamp. Now this one's special because it includes two Turnabouts. You have the cherries and you actually have the leaves, so you can do those in two different colors. With those, you actually have two different, what are these called? The Turnabout image, they call it. The alignment aid. So I'm going to start with my cherries. You don't want to lose these, so always keep these in with your stamp. And then the Turnabout Jig. This is the other important thing that you need here. This comes in this really handy little folder that has all the instructions. So if you forget what you're doing, all you have to do is open this up, and I keep my Turnabout jigs inside this folder so I know I will never lose it. Karen, you definitely need to get your hands on a Turnabout. I mean, they are the coolest thing. I'm telling you, you will love them. You'll love them. Now I'm going to use this, just a little white piece of paper, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm hoping with all this renovation, because it's in the basement, it won't be too crazy for my Friday live streams. But yeah, it's gonna be fast, I think. And the reason why we were supposed to do the first floor first, but I realized if we did the first floor, we would actually have nowhere to together as a family to hang out. We would have no kitchen, we would have nothing. And so my plan, I told my husband, we just have to do the basement first. And if we do the basement first, that means that we'll actually have a place to live while the first floor is getting done. So that's what we're doing, and I'm feeling good about it. It'll be awful for a little while, but it'll just mean that we're one step closer to the house that we want. So excited about that. Okay, I'm going to take a colored piece of paper so you can see this real quick. See that X there on your Turnabout jig? This is a thing that you have to buy separately, okay, you guys? So all I did was place my stamp on the alignment aid. I lined up the images of the cherries perfectly so that you can't see any blank space around them, right? So once you have that stamp on and your stamping surface is facing down, that's how you're going to know it's right, because it will line up on your alignment aid. Then I'm going to take the X on that alignment aid and I am going to line it up with the white X on my Turnabout jig. Not only do you want it to line up in the center, you also want it to line up in all the corners too, okay? So once I have that in place and I'm making sure that my alignment, my Turnabout jig is in that bottom right corner, I'm gonna close the door of my MISTI and I'm gonna gently pull off the backer from the stamp. Now, one thing I noticed when I went to stamp this before was that I had a bubble. So you want to make sure you take your hands and you press that down, because let me show you what happens when you have a bubble. You get that. You get that, right? If you have a bubble there and your stamp is not fully down onto that door, you're going to get that bubble, okay? So then you can put this aside because that's all ready to go. I'm going to move this because you guys can see this now. So my number 1 is up here at the top. And you know what? I can just move this off so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. I like that white, but it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, so I'm not using my magnets for this. I'm going to make sure the 1 is at the top, right-hand corner. I'm going to line up my paper on that A2 outline. And then I am going to ink up my stamp. Now for this one, I'm going to use a mix of 3 colors: watermelon, pimento, and brickyard. You can stamp this 4 times, so you go all the way around, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can stamp it 2 times. You can, the least amount of times that you do it will give you a more open pattern. The more times will give you the full pattern. I like the full pattern, and I'm going to show you how you can tamper down that full pattern so that you can get a sentiment on there. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start with watermelon. Turnabouts are so fun, aren't they, Marisha? And Nikki loves them too. I just think, they were a brainchild of Greg. He's very clever and smart when it comes to products, and I just think they're amazing. They had a really great release this month, so summery and fun. Lots of things that you can make interactive. I try my best to do interactive things, but my brain doesn't always work that way. Oh, let me show you real quick, because my watermelon kind of needs re-inking, and I wanted to re-ink it on camera just to show you. Watermelon is one of my most used Concord 9th colors. It's pretty appropriate that it was my cabin color. But once you put your dots on there, I want you to take a spatula, something that's not going to get dirty that you can just wipe off, and I want you to get that ink into the pad so that it's nice and even and you don't have those dots anymore. Then you can just wipe off your spatula with a baby wipe. Okay? So that's how you do that. You can also take like a used gift card, anything like any kind of flat surface like that. Everybody still with me? Everybody still here? Comments are quiet. You guys are quiet today. Maybe you're working from home and you're supposed to be working. Okay, making sure that's in the bottom right corner every single time I stamp. That's what's important. You don't want your stamped images not to line up. I'm going to do that one more time. I think my watermelon needs some TLC. I think we need to re-ink that baby quite a few times. Hey Marta, don't worry about being late. Okay, so that looks great. Now, I can turn this to number 2. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going up to Pimento, so I'm not even going to worry about cleaning off my stamp. If you're going from lighter colors, like say the same color family, my reds, pinks, if you're going from lighter to darker colors, you don't really need to worry about cleaning your stamp. And the reason is when you clean that stamp, you're going to have a couple seconds of time that you want to allow that stamp to dry, or you can wipe it off with your hand or a lint-free cloth because you don't want any liquid on your stamp, or else it's going to give you a mottled effect on your stamped image. Oh, that looks so cute. I don't even have to stamp that again. Next, we're going to turn to number 3 and go up to Brickyard. I really like Brickyard. It's one of the new colors. It's not as dark as Cranberry, but it's a nice deep red. It's going to be an amazing color for your holiday cards too. Speaking of holiday, I cannot wait for Concord 9th to release their holiday products. Oh, thank you, Karen, watching intently. It's so sweet. Hopefully you learned something. My husband's making a coffee. Don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'm going to go in with Brickyard one more time. Just gently here. Notice that you are going to get these stamped cherries on the outside, and that's just because of the way we're turning that stamp. Okay, that picked up, but that's okay. So I don't touch those until the very end. I don't want to smear anything, right? Now I'm going to clean off my stamp because I'm going to go back to watermelon. I really like watermelon, and instead of going to the darkest red like Cranberry, I'm going to stamp watermelon one more time. Okay, so my stamp really wet right now. So you really do not want to ink it up while it's still wet. Oh, yay, Nikki used her summer camp discount to order all the new inks and cardstock and other goodies. I love that, Nikki. Love that for you. Now you get them organized, my friend. Tracy says, I am putting together this mess of a studio. Oh yes, Tracy, I hope you guys are both feeling better. Yeah, we actually got COVID in my family, and so just the girls tested positive, which was weird, but nothing pretty much happened in the house this last week. I had to wear a mask. It was just a bummer, but you know, we're getting better. We're better. Things are better. I'm glad about it. So sometimes that thing that you might think is just a cold is a little bit more, especially if it wipes you out like it did us. But thank goodness I recovered. I'm going to do that one more time with the watermelon. Hey Jennifer, nice to see you. So glad you guys could join me on this Friday. This is kind of a low-key one. You know, I always consider my last, I call it my last live stream of the month. It's really the first of the month, but most companies don't start their releases until, you know, Spellbinders is always on the 6th. Concord 9th is always on the 9th. So I feel like this in-between time is the time where I get to play and do whatever I want. So I really love that. Okay, so there's our cherries. How cute is that? To get this off of your Turnabout Jig, I want you to pull back the sides and then gently pull off that cardstock. Then I'm going to take off the red from the edges. You don't want to do this while your cardstock is still in place, okay? Now, when you're switching to a different Turnabout stamp, this is what I want you to do. Get this in the corner, put your acetate back on. I always get it in the corner to put my acetate back on because if your acetate is off of that Turnabout Jig edge, it's going to make your turnabout jig slightly off of that corner, right? And so you don't want that to be the case because nothing will line up on here. Okay, so I'm going to take off my cherries. Hey, Marianne. Oh, you're crafting, watching and working. You're watching and working today. I thought you were crafting. Yeah, they are great colors for the cherries. So I did post all of the colors that I'm using so that you guys can see them. And I need to grab this. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing here. Let's turn that over. So we're just going to line this up again. This one goes like this. This one's a little bit more tricky because you have the little lines on the stems and things like that. You just want to make sure that you can't see any of the clear on the outside. And when you do this, you'll see what I mean by the clear. You should only be able to see the black on these images. There we go. So left side is good. Once that's good, then I'm going to press that down, move on to the middle, move on to this side. When you have these turnabouts, they are often kind of broken up in sections. So we have like a left side, a middle, and a right side. And you want to make sure you don't just throw your stamp down. You want to place each side one at a time. That looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to line this up just like I did before with the arrow and the legs. My turnabout jig is in that bottom right corner, and I'm going to close my door. Oh, that's cute, Susan. That's a really great one. Susan's creating cards for Meals on Wheels. That's awesome. And a turnabout is like the ultimate product to use to mass produce cards. Because what you do is you, like I talked about last week, mass producing cards, you stick with the same color and say I have 12 card panels here. Well, I'm going to start off with my card on the number 1 and do watermelon 12 times. Then I'm going to turn them all and do the number 2 and do pimento 12 times, right? So it makes it super quick to do that. Okay, let's put this down. I'm going to make sure this lines up. And by doing that, all I have to do is that. Just put that down. Looks awesome, looks good. Happy with that. All right, so I have 2 green colors for my stems. I have Clover, which I feel like does not get enough love. Clover does not. And Juniper. So let's see how this turns out. I tried it. I liked it. So we're going to go with it. Oh, I'm glad you guys are learning some tips. I feel like every time I use turnabouts and I talk to you guys about it, you all learn something new. And maybe that's because every time I do it, I'm like, oh, well, this is a better way to do it. You know, I learn something new too every time. So there's not much to ink up here, but make sure that's in the corner. Now, I don't want to press so hard that these little bits of ink in the center are going to touch my cardstock. Something happened on this one. That's up there. Something happened on that one. Oh, I had something on my stamp. So when you see something like that, let me go in a little bit closer for you guys. When you see something like that, it's often that you had something on the stamp that stopped that ink from getting on there. So I'm just going to take my hand and wipe off any whatever gunk was on there. And I'm going to do these ones in the corner again. The other ones look great, so I can just selectively ink that up. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, be sure to hit the like. If you are watching me for the first time, I'd love for you to subscribe. Tomorrow, I have my Spellbinders clubs video coming out. I've decided to start doing those earlier because I know a lot of you guys are club members. And I'm going to, actually, I shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to go to 3. So 1 and 3 are going to be Clover. I didn't really have to clean that off because I'm going to use the same color. Hey, Brianne Loveland, nice to see you. My new ink stand is in the cart on your website. I need to check out today. I've been on a buying spree this week too. I bought some like essentials from Gina. I bought a ton of adhesive from scrapbook.com and something for a fun project. And I have Brienne Loveland has a new mini, like the cube inkstand that holds 6 in her shop. So be sure to check that out because I need 6 and I'm sure you do too. Because I often will use a lot of colors when I'm using those little cubes. So what was I saying? I just forgot. Kind of forgot. The small die of the month. I mean, I'm telling you, Vicky, the whole thing is so cute. So tomorrow, watch for that to go up on my YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the bell notification so you'll get a notification when my videos go up. Now let's go back to the 2. So I did 1 and 3 in Clover. We're going to do 2 and 4 in Juniper. This is the other thing that you can do with your turnabout is just experiment with different color combinations on different numbers. Okay, yeah, so shopping sprees have happened this week, mostly because I just need to get my act together before the fall kicks in. You know, my kids are going back to school and buying their school supplies, so it's reminding me of things that I need around here too. That looks good. Don't know what happened there. It looks like, let me see. Yep, something on the leaf. It's like a little fuzzy. Why is that? I don't know. I'm going to redo that one too. Little fuzzy on my leaf. Now look at this one. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me hold it up for you. See how that isn't quite as crisp? And that's probably because it was a little bit damp. That little leaf was a little damp when I did it. So make sure everything is dry. So 2, and I'm going to go over to 4. I really do love this color combination. And we have been buying cherries around here and eating them like crazy. I always wait for them to go on sale and then I feel justified in buying the cherries. But, and that's why I wanted to work with this set today because it just reminds me of summer. It's crazy that we're getting to the end now of summer, but here we are. Okay. Last one, you guys. See, it's just so easy. It's just repetition, right? And then you get this amazing pattern. Let me go back. You get this amazing pattern here. Isn't that fantastic? And there are so many turnabouts in the Concord 9th shop, from Christmas to florals and everything in between, geometrics, so many. So be sure to check out all of their turnabouts. I obviously linked this one in my video description. But now, let's see what we can do here. Before I move on, I want to get all this put away. So I'm going to put on my acetate, get that nice in the corner. I'm going to clean off my stamp. Okay. Pull this off. Put this back on. Just getting our act back together here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my Turnabout jigs. I actually have 2 in here. And I'm going to put them back in my folder so I don't lose that. Put my stamp back over here. Move this out of the way. All right. So let's do a little die cutting. I have the Cherry Nice dies here. It's so pretty, isn't it, Nikki? I know, I love it. And look at that color combination. Cherry Nice dies and the Cherry Nice stamp set. So the dies have the big word sweet, but the stamp set has a lot of different sentiments. Then on the die set, you also have the dies that cut out the sentiments, as well as 2 big cherries, or you could do small cherries. So it's up to you. And you can see those here. I love that they have them done in 2 colors, and I think I'm gonna do that. Because why not? I mean, when somebody like Concord 9th puts together, like they come up with this design idea and you're going to create your first card with it, you might as well just use that idea, right? Love it. Okay. So I need to see how this works. Hello, Ware from Atlanta. Thank you for being here. I don't think I've seen you comment before. Hello, Krista. Nice to see you in California. How is your weather there? Mindy said it was a cool 64 degrees, and I'm like, oh, that sounds lovely. Okay, so this one is going to cut, this is going to cut the cherries solid. This one is going to cut the cherries with the little outline here, which I do like that little shine mark. So let's try that. We're going to use our mint tape. I think this is going to be a really pretty card. And I'm going to grab my little scout. My nails do match the card. I know I have watermelon nails. Yep, because watermelon is like one of my favorite colors ever. And it's kind of like my color, my skin tone works with that one, you know? Okay, so here is the one with the little cutouts. And then you can go in and say, let's do a lighter shade. So what's under a watermelon? I'm gonna grab my handy dandy swatch book here. Honeysuckle, so we can take like pink lemonade and do that. Let's try that. And here is my organization from my Concord 9th scraps. Let's see if we have pink lemonade in here. I might not. Oh, yes, I do. I have tons. Okay. So I have these in old Studio Calico zipper pockets. And I just keep them in 2 different ones so they don't get too full. So handy to have that on hand so I'm not cutting a full sheet every time. Oh, TJ Maxx does have great storage options. Or actually, I go to Home Goods, Jen, and they have really great stuff there. I can usually find like my OXO storage containers at a really great discount. You can find drawer liners like trays. It's awesome. 72 in Michigan right now. It's probably about that here too. I mean, the weather yesterday evening was gorgeous. Yeah, Krista, your weather has been perfect. Look how pretty that is. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put these together, even though I'm probably going to do 2 cherries, or maybe 3. I don't know. We could, well, we'll see. We could do 3. We could do 3. Okay, let's go to, ooh, should we go to Pimento or Brickyard? Let's see. Poppy, Pimento. Let's see. I think Pimento, having those next to each other would be really nice. So let's see if I have any Pimento in here. And yes, that looks like, no, that's Poppy. Let's check me. Let's see. No, I'm wrong. It's Pimento. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I finally have, let me go to my screen here. So I finally put up this from IKEA, and that's where I'm hanging all of my swatches, because before I had those in with the cardstocks and they were kind of getting damaged. And so now I have this and I can just turn around and grab my little swatch books and make sure that I got my colors right, which I really love that. Just trying to get it together here, friends. You know, just got to get myself organized, because I'm kind of tired of going through the day looking for things, right? Especially when you do this for a living, you know? Our air quality has been horrible, Jen. I heard yesterday that the Chicago area air quality is the worst in the world right now. My husband did not agree with that, because he said, surely in Delhi it's worse, but I don't know. It's been really hazy, and we noticed last night that you couldn't see that far, you know, on the horizon. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, and I think I'm going to go back in the middle with watermelon. Okay, now I don't need the full cherry here, so I'm just grabbing this little top corner just so I can get that shine mark in there. Oh, Jen, do you have a cheat sheet PDF of hot foil glimmer versus fancy foil? That's a good question. Although they are two different things, but yeah. Well, so I just got Gina's swatch kit for her foil. See, look at that. Isn't that cute? I just got Gina's kit, her little swatch set for her foils. And although I don't have all the foils right now, I'll just, you know, do them as I get them. I decided that I couldn't buy them all in one go because that's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so there is that. I have our cherries. Let's do 3 stems, and then we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. I know we got a lot of steps here today, friends, but you know, sometimes it's worth it to do these things. Now, let's see if I have any Juniper here. I probably do, since it's one of my most used colors ever. Let's see. I do, but I think I can't cut that one out. Let's see. I have all small pieces. Let's try these. There we go. There's that one. And I think I can get this one in here too. There we go. Perfect. Once my little pieces start getting too jagged, then I throw them away because then they just get stuck in with the other pieces. And yes. Oh, these look so cute. Look how great those are. Okay, so we'll do 3, and then I'll do a couple of leaves, and then we'll get those colored up. Now, with the leaves, this is kind of cool. You have the darker and the lighter. So you have kind of a shadow layer. Let me show you the back. So see there how you have the shadow. So the thin piece, I see there. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think we can ink blend it. We can just cut it all out of Juniper and we can ink blend it to get that color differentiation. Okay, let's see if I can fit everything on here. And of course I can't. So let me get a bigger piece. Here we go. There we go. Trying to use up those scraps. Oh, I love the Scout. Yes. I use it more as well, Nikki, because it just, you know, takes up so much less space, and I really like it a lot more for my live streams because the big one, I'm always afraid that I'm going to drop it when I go back to my back table since my machines sit right behind me. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the cutest card. I can't even. And we're going to decide on a sentiment after we're done. I have one little touch to add. Okay, so let me put all this cardstock back so it's not right in our space. Just got to get it in the right place here. And I keep them in order of my swatch book here so that I know, you know, sea glass is going to be first, and then after sea glass is going to come Clover, rainforest, juniper, that sort of thing. It's very handy. Okay, so I'm grabbing my dark teal brush because juniper is kind of a teal. You do need the magic mat for the Scout, Vicky. And did you guys see that scrapbook.com just brought out the mint magic mat? It's not magnetic, but it's magic. And I'm telling you, I had just placed an order the day before. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me? I really want the mint one now. Okay, so for this guy, I'm just gonna ink it up. I'm gonna hold it on with my finger. Actually, that's not handy to do. Let me just, you know what? I'm gonna grab my Turnabout Jig. So this is a handy use for the Turnabout Jig when you have your die cuts, I should say, and you wanna ink them up, but they're a little bit too small. Grab your Turnabout Jig, stick it there, and ink it up. I want that top piece to be darker. Not crazy dark, but just a little bit darker. And we'll make this one darker too. Because that's what it shows me on the back. So I'm going to trust that Concord 9th knows what they're doing. There we go. And then I can peel those off. Okay, then I'm going to wipe this off. Because if I'm going to do my cherries, I'm going to actually hold my cherries on my glass surface. I want to make sure that they don't get any weird marks on them from being on here. I think I tell you guys all the time when I do ink blending on a bigger surface, especially a background, I don't want that transition. I don't want that transition from the sticky surface to whatever I'm blending on. I want like a smooth transition. So when you're going from glass to the die, there's no like kind of awkward catching, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's get out this. We're going to use Brickyard for this one. Yes, Wendy just pointed out there is a bundle. Hey, Wendy, from Mayfield, Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky too. I don't know where Mayfield is, so tell me where that is. I'm from Northern Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati. So there is a bundle at scrapbook.com of all the things that I use like on a daily basis. For instance, their runner, their artiste glue, their pickup tool. And can I just tell you something? I found out from Laura Graff yesterday that I didn't even know this existed in here. Look, look. I didn't even know that little spatula was there. I saw those lines before, but I thought that was just the way it was put together. There's 4 things in this pickup tool, not just 2. You got your wax tip, you got your pointy tip, and then you got these 2. Couldn't believe it. What else is in there? A chamois. It's a great bundle. So if you go to the scrapbook.com website, it's probably on their homepage, but you can usually go to their live stream section and see the products from their last live stream. It's a great bundle. I use their products all of the time. Okay, because my shine mark is on this side, I'm going to make this side the shadow. So I'm using Brickyard here on Pimento, and look at that great shadow that it gives you. It's awesome. No, I have zero Southern accent because when you live in Northern Kentucky, you sound like you're an Ohioan. I might as well go ahead and do this one actually. Might as well. Yeah, Nikki, I grew up, Cincinnati was my city, right? My dad worked in Cincinnati. It's where I was born. That's where we went for like activities and shopping and whatever. And so I sound like I'm from Ohio, essentially. And whenever you ask someone from Northern Kentucky where they're from, they don't say Kentucky, they say Northern Kentucky. And it's very vague. It's quite funny. It's just how we are. But then I went to university at the University of Kentucky, and then I found my Southern accent down there. So for 5 years when I lived in Lexington, I definitely had my Southern drawl. And then after that, I moved to DC, so I lost it again. Because you don't have a Southern drawl when you live in DC. Okay. Because they're a little bit judgy over there. I'm going to go in here with watermelon. And I'm going to use Pimento on the watermelon to give it that darker color. Oh, everybody's talking. Thank you, Sarah Young from Nova Scotia. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, the berries and jam bundle. I actually, Sarah, I have a video, a live stream where I created with that bundle. So if you go to my channel and you search Concord 9th, it's on the Concord 9th playlist. So you'll find it there. I made 2 cards on that live stream and I love that bundle. It's very cute. Do I use repositionable or permanent tape runner? I use both. I love their dotted one because if I change my mind, then I can go back and move things. Or if I'm just trying to get something in place before I glue it down, I'll use that one. Lately, I've been using the green one a lot. So when I'm scrapbooking, I love the dots because I am one of those people that can never figure it out on the first go when I'm scrapbooking. So card making, I'm a little bit better at making a decision, but I like them both. I have the yellow and the green Vicky, and they're both great. And unlike some runners that I found, I don't go back to a card that I made like a year later and see that the adhesive is not sticking, which is really great. Okay, I think I have put everything together. And now, oh, these tweezers are included in that tool bundle too. I have multiple pairs of these tweezers, and the glue that I will often fill up my Nuvo bottle. See, I have the refillable bottle here. Is the Artiste glue from Scrapbook.com. So I'm telling you, that bundle is a great deal. Check it out. Okay, so we're just lining that up. So we have our little shine in there. And you can even take your white gel pen and add even more white in there. I am not good at gel pens. I don't know why, like they don't work for me very well. I don't know. So I typically don't. Sarah said, yes, I watched it. That's how I found you. Oh, that's amazing, Sarah. Thank you. I'm so glad. And thank you for commenting. And if you haven't commented before and you watch my videos, I'd love to have you comment because it makes me so happy to see a new face, a new name. I'm always so grateful. I think I'm almost up to 7,000 subscribers on my little YouTube channel here. So thank you guys so much for doing all you do, sharing, liking, commenting. That all helps other people to find me. So thank you. Okay. I like to think of every Friday as a little mini class, right? We hang out together. We do a little class. That's the big one. Let's do the big one here. That is going to be so cute. I can't even. Now, do I want this one to be the lighter color or do I want it to be watermelon? Because I kind of think it should be the lighter color. Let's do that. Let's just cut one more out of pink lemonade. So those are done, and I just want to get my pimento one onto pink lemonade. Karen says, I always say I'm from Washington State because people think DC if you say Washington. They do, yes. They absolutely do. Oh, thanks, Sarah. It's a slow grow, you know. I'm not up to 90 like Kathy Z. She's getting close to 90, I think. But it's a slow grow, and I've really started focusing on my own channel kind of recently because in the past I've always done things on other companies' channels. So for a long time I was, you know, sharing videos on the LA Studio channel a lot, and I just needed again to get my act together and figure out what I was doing. So I'm happy to be here every Friday sharing videos in between as I can. So tomorrow there's going to be a Spellbinders Club video going up. And then next week I'm going to be in the Pretty Pink Posh release, which I'm really excited about because it is a Halloween release if you haven't seen. So it's going to be super, super duper fun. So you'll be able to see videos from me with those new products too. Okay, so I'm putting the darker piece of the leaf on top of this one. Oh, a correction pin. That's a good idea. Yeah, and it's probably a little bit easier to use. That's a good idea, Vicky. Thank you. I love that you guys are talking to each other. Oh, I love Seattle. Layla says, I dislike Seattle. I love Seattle. I thought it was a great city. We had friends who lived there, so we were lucky to be able to go there a couple times when they were in the Air Force. And I love it. Although I'm sure I wouldn't love the weather, maybe. It's a little bit chilly and rainy. Okay. So that, look at how great those look. And just that little bit of ink, look at the additional color that that gave us. Okay, so let's grab our card. Part of me really wants to put a border on this card. And I think it would do well with that little bit of green on the edge. So another thing that I've done recently, oh, let me grab my dies here and show you. So I've put all of my Spellbinders, like layering dies onto magnetic sheets so they're not all falling off. I'm going to use this one because I like that little detail it adds to the edge. So I'm going to go for the one just under the A2 so that I can have that dark green on the outside. I think that's the one I want to do. Let's double check. Yes, that green. Yes, it is so good. Juniper is like the best color in the world, I think. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, definitely, because you won't be able to see any of the green if I use that full A2. So we're going to go with this one. I wish there was one kind of in the middle, but that's okay. We got it. So just make sure that this is centered, because although your pattern may look random, it's not. With these Concord 9th turnabouts, they actually are centered. See how those 4 little cherries are in the center? So you always want to make sure that if you trim them down, you trim them down evenly. I'm going to turn around and do this one on my Platinum 6 so that I don't pick it up. Oh, another thing I just ordered from scrapbook.com this week is the new handle for the Platinum 6, which I'm super pumped about. Okay, look at that. How pretty is that? Love it. All right, we're gonna put this together. I'm gonna show you a little trick that when you have a busy background, one thing that you can do, and it's probably with something that you have on hand. All right, let's make sure that this piece of card is nice and straight. It looks just about straight. Thank you, Tracy, my friend. Oh, sold their cardstock swatches for putting on a ring. Yeah, you can actually, you know, Vicky, I think I really like the Spellbinders die set, their swatch die, because I love the shape. Love it. But with the Concord 9th one, we just cut these down. I actually got really lucky because when I was at Concord 9th, Greg had all these cut and asked me if I wanted them, and I sat there and put all the stickers on, and it was very cathartic. So I didn't have to cut them all, but you can easily just cut. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick trim of the bottom of this, because as you know, I can't stand it when I see that little tiny bit of white. So I'm gonna try to cut off like a 1/16 of an inch if I can here. Let's see if I'm talented enough to do that today. And if you ever have to cut off like a tiny bit, I recommend the guillotine, because look, it cuts off a little shaving. You can't really do that with a trimmer that goes up and down. It doesn't really work like that. Okay, so let's put this in the center. I'm not going to pop this piece up, but I will be popping up my cherries. And then we're going to figure out on a sentiment, because I used the big cherries, so we might have to go with a smaller sentiment. Oh, love that juniper. Vicky says, I hate using my precious cardstock for non-card things. Yes, I know. I get it. I totally do. Look how cute those are. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share with you guys. See how, and we had talked about this last week, or no, in my holiday magic class. I had talked to you guys about, because I know a lot of you there, so I say you guys. I had talked to you about contrast and adding contrast. So when you put something on a background that's in the same kind of colors, it will get lost, right? So I want to mute some of that background. And what I'm going to use here is a product that I love at Concord 9th. This is a bundle that I think Kathy taught in at SCT years ago. It's called Grateful Blooms. But what's awesome about it is that it has this doily, and this doily is the cutest thing ever. So you can just get the dies so you can have the doily, or you can get the whole stamp set and you can add in these flowers, right? It has a little explanation here that talks about aligning it, but I'm going to take off this doily and we are going to cut out of vellum. And that is going to soften that background a little bit. I got to find my vellum. It's right here. So I use scrapbook.com vellum. Let me show you the quality of this vellum. You see that? And it is just going to, look what it does on that pattern there. See? It's just going to slightly mute it a little bit just so those cherries will stick out better. I love the quality of this vellum, and you get it in 8.5 by 11 and you get a full pack. So it's great. So I'm just going to cut off a piece that's big enough just for this doily, and then I'll put the rest back. I feel like I'm talking a lot today, but obviously I have a lot to teach you guys, have a lot to say. And there's something about using Concord 9th products that just gets me all jazzed up. So I talk a little bit more. Okay, so you can cut just the outline, or you can cut it in with that doily in the center, and I definitely want the details of that doily. So you just make sure that that is centered and lined up properly. I know, Tracy, yes, I love vellum too. I think it makes things look a little bit more elevated. The green color, Karen, is Juniper. I used both Juniper and Clover on my leaves, and then when I stamped them, and then I chose Juniper for the outside card. And you can find all the colors linked in the video description below. The thing that I like to do is link the entire color collection so that when you click on that link, you will see the cardstock, the ink, the re-inker, and the enamel dots. So, all right, let's use our little scrapbook.com magic tool here that you can get in that awesome bundle that they announced yesterday. So the little leaves down here do not cut. Those are just etched. And then that cuts out the rest. See that cute little doily? It's adorable. It's adorable. The other great thing about this is when you're using vellum and you're covering it with your dies, your die cuts, is that you can add adhesive to the center, and you're not going to see that adhesive because your die cuts are going to cover it up. And we just need to make sure that we have everything here the way we want it to be. So I'm going to look at the product packaging for this part, because Concord 9th, they've done it all. They're going to show me what it kind of looks like. And there's little flowers too, and I forgot about the little flowers. I can add those later. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there, and let's get those glued so then I can decide where I want that third cherry. It might be overkill, but I think it's kind of cute to have that extra cherry. Okay, there's my little one. Put this one up here, kind of turn it to the side. The doily is super sweet, Mari, and it's a great set, and it's not expensive at all, that bundle. So, and it just gives you that sweet little doily that you can use for everything, right? Okay, so if I put my cherries in the center, should we put them in the center? Could be cute. And then we can do one of the smaller sentiments, like have a delightful day, which I think is a very cute sentiment. So you have thanks a bunch, hello sweet friend, which is a nice one too. Have a delightful day. It might be nice to have one of these. Thanks a bunch or hello sweet friend. So maybe we'll do one of those. Okay, so do we do 2 or do we do 3? I think 3 might look a little bit crowded. What do you guys think? And our doily is kind of properly sized for 2, isn't it? Kind of is. Kind of is. Okay. I'm gonna take some adhesive and I'm gonna run it on the back of this doily, kind of right here. Now, one trick, you don't have to buy vellum adhesive. You just have to make sure that if you use a regular tape adhesive, that you get it on in one go. So look, that is not vellum adhesive, and it completely disappeared. When I mean get it on in one go, I mean get it on in one layer, and you don't have any, you know how sometimes you get the adhesive will gum up together and you'll get those like balls of adhesive? You don't want that. Now on this card, I do want the edges of this doily kind of coming up because that's going to give me a little bit of dimension. It's going to make it look really cute. 2 on the front and 1 cherry inside. That's a great idea, Jenny. I love that. Yes, perfect. How adorable is this card? I can't even. Okay. Let me get, I think I'm going to go with 2mm for my cherries, 2mm adhesive. So I could use strip or I could use this big boy. I'll use the big boy. And I'll do 1 for my sentiment, 1mm. Oh, let's run this like this. When I have 2 pieces together like this, I'm going to put a little bit of extra adhesive over here, just to get that down. I want my edges to come up, but I don't want the center to come up. I like to take my 2 die cuts when they're kind of overlapping each other and adhere them together with the foam so that they're not going anywhere, right? Just like that. It makes them really nice and rigid and strong too. Yes, adhesive boogies, that's it. Yes, you said it for me. Thank you, Tracy. Everybody says 2. Yep, I am in full agreement with 2. And I think it looks super cute on that vellum. Oh, that is adorable. Love it. And then, you're right, Jenny. That is perfect. You're so right. Okay, so I'm gonna take, I don't wanna risk glue closing my card. So I'm just gonna, see, these are the boogies I'm talking about. You can't do that and put it behind vellum and think it's gonna go away. It won't. It'll kind of be a mess behind your vellum. But if you do it in one single strip, then you shouldn't be able to see it. And vellum adhesive, I always find that if I buy it, I don't often use it, and then it goes off, you know, after a while. Okay, there's that. Thank you, Jenny, for that little idea. And then I think we're gonna go with hello, sweet friend. I know, something inside the card is nice. Oh, Layla, you need this doily. It's so cute. It is adorable. Okay, this is a cute one because it has all those little details too. All right, let's grab this. I have a couple of strip dies over here too on hand because I don't think this one has a strip. It doesn't, because you can, you know, you can cut it yourself. Easy to cut a strip. Oh, I didn't put my leaves on either. So let's get our sentiment on and then we can get our leaves on. I'm going to line this up on this side so that we can have plenty of room to cut the strip. And I'm going to use Juniper because I think that'll make it stand out. Don't smush it, just lightly tap it. There we go. Now, let's see. I keep my strip dies in a metal bowl just next to my desk. So let's see which one fits best. There we go. We'll use that one. And you can get strip dies that have, you know, edges on them. I have some from Gina that are just super cute. Should I grab one of those? Yes, I feel like I should. I just said it and now I'm like, okay. We can make an hour-long card. It's okay. Let me grab my master layouts from Gina because there is one with the cutest strip sentiment. And I'm gonna find it. I don't have my master layouts memorized yet. I feel like I need to have them memorized. Because last week I had to ask Gina on my live stream what was the master layouts. There's one there. What was the master layouts with the, what did I say, that you can use for the different card sizes? Like, I think I had to ask her. I need to just get them memorized. So this one I think would just work. Or we can go one that's a little bit bigger. Ooh, that one won't work. And I think this one will be too big. I don't know. There's some space there. Now let's try this one first. And if it doesn't work, we'll restamp and do it again. But I think it'll have just enough room. And it has that cute little edge detail that I think is really cute. Because this whole card is about those little details, isn't it? So might as well keep going with the details. Oh, the inside piece makes you feel like it's a hidden treasure, says Layla. It definitely does. And I don't often put things inside of my cards, but I like that idea. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's perfect, you guys. Look at that. Love it. Now, I'm going to cut one more just so we can get a nice thick sentiment. Am I taking Lizzie, Simon?
Do you want me to?
Well, is she ready?
I don't know.
Can you check? Let's see if she's ready. She was supposed to eat. Sorry, we're just...
She's not eating.
She's not eating? She was supposed to eat and go to Olivia's at noon.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Summer, kids, everywhere. I know, Master Layouts are so good. And this one is from Master Layouts 18. So you get 3, oh my gosh, multiple strips. You get 3 of the stitched and 3 larger ones without the stitching. And I love that. Okay, so let's adhere these together. That's kind of a dirty glue job there. And when I say that, this glue is probably going to come out and go everywhere. Okay, look how sweet that is. I think that's perfect because it has just that nice little detail there with the stitching. Love it. All right, now I'm going to grab my 1mm foam. And I got to put my card up so you guys can see it. And then we'll put our leaves on. Okay. I love this card. And I could easily have made 2 in the same time if I would have cut everything out at the same time. So it's a really good one to make multiples of. And you can do it in 2 different colorways too. All right, gotta get this on straight. I'm gonna grab my Gina K T ruler here and make sure this is lined up. Kind of want to get it a little bit lower and centered. That looks pretty good. Just like that. Hello, sweet friend. I love it. Now, let me see how they put the leaves on here. So I love this. Look at how much that adds when you put that leaf on. And you can do one kind of behind and one kind of in front. Just make sure the darker piece is on the top. I love that. So cute. Okay, I'm going to use 1mm foam for this one. Oh, Layla, thank you. I try my best to give you guys good ideas on my live streams, you know, and I think these ones where I just kind of choose something to create with, they're always fun because I don't know, it's just me kind of playing and figuring things out while you guys are here talking to me, giving me ideas, and I love that. It's collaboration, right? Okay, let me get this one on. Now, should I cut the 2 little flowers at the top or should I leave it? Should we do the little white flowers? Let me know your thoughts. Now that holds down that doily really perfectly there too. I kind of feel like the flowers would be really cute. I know, it's so pretty, right? Ooh, let's do the flowers. It's only 12:21, right? Can I do it, you guys? Don't be mad at me for going a little bit late today. So what we've got, and I'm not going to cut the centers because I can put those on with enamel dots. So let me grab that white piece of paper. Lizzie, can you grab, Liz, yeah. Can you grab the Buttercup enamel dots that are on the front of my wall? Thank you. Buttercup, yeah. We're gonna make 3 little flowers, and we're gonna put Buttercup enamel dots in the center. And I'm not gonna add any other embellishments because I think that this card has enough going for it to not need that. Thank you. And Buttercup will be very cute. Let's see, Tina, what it looks like. Marta says yes on the flowers. Who else thinks yes on the flowers? I mean, it doesn't hurt to try it, right? I already have one more cherry cut. So, you know, if I decide no on these flowers, I could always use them for a second card. That's the beauty of cutting extra dies out, is that you can always keep them and use them for something else. I actually have an entire drawer in one of my organizers over here that has all those like extra die cut pieces or backgrounds that I've created that I decided not to use, or, you know, things that I've embossed. So at some point I need to take all those little things and create with them. I also have lots of sentiments that maybe I cut the sentiment out of 2 different colors, decided to use one color. Oh, I think that's super cute. Ooh, love it. And I'm gonna put one there. How do they have it on here? They have them up here. Okay, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, you guys, because it just adds that extra little feminine touch. So cute. Can't even. Okay, let me put this one on first. Thanks for sticking in there with me, you guys. 54 of you decided to stay in here while I kept adding to this card, and I appreciate you. So don't forget, before you leave the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you are interested in any of the products that I used today, be sure to check those out at the links in my video description below. You can find all the colors there. I will add the Gina K Master layouts. I think everything else is there. I added the doily set, so if you want to check that out and you don't have that in your stash yet, you can go check that out. It's a very cute set, and it's also one of those that is a stamp heavy set, that doily one. Adorable. Can't even with this one. And that little bit of Buttercup just finishes it off. It just adds that unexpected little contrasting color, you know? Just unexpected little pop of yellow. Oh my goodness, you guys. How cute. I know, I love this card too, Mari. Hello, sweet friend. I'm not even gonna add any sparkly bit. I'm not gonna add anything else. But do you see how that doily just softened the center of the card to help those die cuts to stand out? It just really makes a big difference. And you can, you know, when you turn the card at an angle, it just gives it that texture too. I love it. And then I open it up, thanks to Mari. I got a cute little cherry on the inside. Awesome, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. What did we do today? We talked about turnabouts, and I showed you how to line up your turnabout. Super easy to do. I showed you how to use multiple colors on your turnabout, how to keep it easier by using the 1 and the 3, the 2 and the 4, so that you didn't have to change up colors with those greens. And then we did some die cutting, some ink blending, and we put together a really, really sweet card. So I hope you guys love that as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Concord 9th for always being amazing and creating amazing products for us. Tomorrow I will have my Spellbinders clubs video out. This month's theme is like an under the sea theme, and it's really cool. There's lots of fish, there's tropical fish, there's little cute little divers. It's amazing. The designs of these products are spectacular. So be sure to watch for that video. If you don't already subscribe to my newsletter, the link is below in the video description. All you have to do is hit the more button. You can subscribe to my newsletter, and I'll send out a newsletter tomorrow morning after the video is up so that you can watch that. If you're not a club subscriber, I'll give you all the information about how you can become one. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope I've given you some inspiration today to take into your weekend. I have a lot of stuff coming up next week, so hit the bell button on my channel so that you get notifications whenever I have something new. Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend and happy creating, my friends. Bye-bye.